Good morning, Ed Garuna. I think that's how you pronounce it, Ed Garuna. Thanks for both of your comments. The one that says thanks for the information, and the question in reference to which one pays more. Well, here's the quick and easy answer. As Simplify has pointed out, this is the way you've got to really look at this. One may pay more than the other, but have a less fuel discount. So if you're doing towaway and you have the extra fuel tank in your vehicle, which is highly recommend, get an extra fuel tank before you get a fifth wheel. The thing of it is that you may end up finding yourself getting less pay from one company, but yet more of a fuel discount, so you even out with that scenario. It is a numbers game, if I can say it that way, which is what I consider just about every employment out there. The thing that I would definitely recommend is do your research if you're doing towaway. Now, if you're doing drive away, that's a different story. Drive away, you can drive for multiple companies because there's nothing that you're leasing to the company. Whereas when you do towaway or multi-haul, you're leasing the vehicle to that company. So you can't tow for Bennett and then go across and come to Horizon and pick up one load. Whereas in drive away, you can do that. You can literally be on multiple load boards and see different things. So which is the way some people actually do that in towaway, is that they'll actually be leased to multiple companies as far as them doing a drive away, so that way they can keep up with who's got the loads, who's got what. But it's up to each individual what they choose. And when it comes to pay, I will still say that pay will be determined by how often and how much you keep going. Okay? I try to point out to a lot of people, me and my wife do this more leisurely than we do as a job. Now, like the unit I just took, I went to Colorado and drove 613 miles a day. So therefore I was there and back out, and right now I'm headed back to the house, to the cottage. And that's how I drive when I'm by myself, and that's how most of you will drive also, because you'll be by yourself. And the point that I'll also make out about that is that you're not in a caravan. And I won't say by yourself as far as having someone in the vehicle with you. I'm talking about you driving with another person on the road, and that will slow you down too. So as much as people think that, no, yeah, I'll team up with you and we'll go out to west, or we'll go here, no. Teaming up with someone is never a good move for money. For companionship, of having a friend and having someone to talk to and stop and eating a burger together and all that good stuff, hey, it's great. But at the same time, if you're here to make money, then make the money and keep going. So that's what I would recommend as far as which one pays more. I cannot say myself that there's one that will pay more compared to another one when you actually take in all the equations. Okay, so note that, and note that, remember, if you lease with one, you can delease yourself in good standings and go to another one. But under my morals, I'll put it that way, Papa raised me to say that anytime you start something, you do it for 2 years before you give up on it, because that will give you at least multiple cycles through everything, and you'll be able to see the true colors of the company. Now, with that being said, I did not do that with a couple jobs in my past, but yet most of them I tried to always stick it out. and it does show you a different perspective to the company. So if you de-lease and you try to go back to one, when you try to go back, you got to remember your de-lease. A lot of these companies have a clause that you can't come back for 6 months. So hence, you cannot lease for one, and then go lease to another for another month, and then go lease to another for another month. It will not work that way. So unless you keep changing the companies, of course, but I do not recommend doing that, because then you'll get a name of not being reliable. And yes, I know dispatchers and all that good stuff, they don't have favorites when it comes down to it, but that's bullshit. Sorry for the profanity, but yes, I will definitely tell you that a dispatcher will know somebody, and they will definitely say, oh, so-and-so like this one, I'll put this one on him or on her, and that's how it works. And as much as every company out there is going to tell you that doesn't happen, we're humans, and it does happen. Okay? There is absolutely no way to stop that. All right? But in either case, and just note, that's not a complaint coming from me over it. No, I expect it. I see it. I have been a dispatch supervisor before for a utility company. I seen how it worked there. And we had the same things, is that same type of policies. Do not give favoritism. Don't give this person an easy job every single day and all that. No, it does happen. And let me throw this out there. It happens unconsciously, okay? They don't realize that they do this some of the times. So note that. But in either case, back on track to pay. Pay is going to be what you make it and how hard you run. And I've seen people that will run for 6 weeks, and they will run their ass off. They will get point A to point B in the right amount of time of that 600 miles a day, and literally be turning in the money. And then they'll take off for 3 or 4 weeks. And they can do that. Okay? And that's been the industry for years. I'll go back to being, I think I was 21 when I met my neighbor at my father's house, and he was a truck driver, and he was coming over to my father's house because we had a pool, and it was a common thing for a few of the neighbors all to come use my father's pool. So he would be over there every day for a month and a half, 2 months at a time, and then you wouldn't see him for 3 or 4 months. So I learned about that back then, that if you're independent, that's, you go make the money and then you go relax and you enjoy life. So yeah, there's the base to your question. It does not answer your question. I am sorry, but I will not be able to do that. And if anybody says they can do it, here's the problem. One day they're going to wake up and you're going to pull up that load board, and what was $1.85 a mile became $1.55 a mile. And somebody else, another company, what was $1.55 a mile became $1.85 a mile. And that's the cold hard facts. So plus, minus, who's got what loads, who's got which, who's got the most loads, who's got all that, it bounces between companies. And I have been here 2.5 years. I have listened to the complaints. I've listened to so many people talk about, you need to go here, you need to go here. And then you turn around and like, there's 900 loads, and it stays above 400 for 3 or 4 months, and then all of a sudden it drops down to where there's only 30 loads. Okay? And then the other company, they're talking about how many they've got, and they're over abundance and all that. It happens continuously. I've only been here 2.5 years, and I've seen it multiple times. So really, it fluctuates between them both, in my honest opinion. That's my opinion, and I know a lot of people will disagree with my opinion sometimes, but hey, that's the way it works. We all have opinions. So there you go. I hope that helps. I know this lasted 10 minutes, but yet, thank you for your comments. Thank you for your questions. Much appreciated. I'm Tex, DTN, Living Life. Like, dislike, like again, and subscribe, notifications bell. Thank you.